gentlemen, I hope you can hear me. The microphone's a bit far away. We're going to start with our first two songs. First of all, You Raise Me Up. It's written by an Irish gentleman, and it was recorded by over 100 different artists, but most famous with Westlife. And then we're going to do, which is quite a challenging song, not only for Julia, but for us to sing. Apparently, it's one of the hardest songs to sing. And that is Freddie Mercury and Queen's Bohemian
There we are then.
When I am down and oh my soul's so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, and I am still waiting in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy because I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Anyway the wind blows doesn't really matter to me, to me. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life has just begun, and now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, as if nothing really matters. Too late, my time has come, sent shivers down my spine, body's aching all the time. Goodbye, everybody, I've got to go, and leave you all behind and face the truth. Mama, anyway the wind blows, I don't want to die. I sometimes wish I'd never been born at all. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, Figaro, Magnifico. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from this monstrosity. Easy come, will you let me go? Ishmael, no, we will not let you go, let me go. Ishmael, we will not let you go, let me go. Ishmael, we will not let you go, let me go. Will not let you go, let me go. Will not let you go, let me go. No, Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has the devil put aside for me, for me, for me. So you think you can sell me and spit in my eye? So you think you can love me and leave me to die? Oh, baby, can't do this to me, baby. Just gotta get out, just gotta get right out of here. Nothing really matters, anyone can see. Nothing really matters, nothing really matters to me. Any way the wind blows.
Very much, and I think the round of applause should be for Juliet. Not only is she a brilliant pianist, but she's also the musical director. So it's all credit to Juliet for, well, I wouldn't say tweeting us, but a bit more than that in getting us here this evening. Our next two songs is, first of all, we're going to sing your song. That was made famous, somebody's in tears, by Elton John back in 1975, being his first top number 10 in the UK and United States. And then there's another challenging song we're going to sing, made famous with Whoopi Goldberg in the film from the musical and film of Sister Act. So another one for us to give it our best shot. So I hope you like that. Thank you.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no, or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. Sat on the roof and kicked off the moss, when a few of the verses, well, they got me quite cross. But the sun seemed quite kind while I wrote this song. It's for people like you that keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life while you're in the Holy Queen enthroned above, O Maria, Hail Mother of Mercy and of Love, O Maria. Triumph, holy cherubim, sing with us, ye seraphim, heaven and earth resound their hymn. Salve, salve, Regina. Hail, Holy Queen, enthroned above, O Maria, Hail Mother of Mercy and of Love, O Maria. Triumph, holy cherubim, sing with us, we seraphim, heaven and earth resound their hymn. Salve, salve, Regina. Sanctus, Sanctus Dominus, every speech and not every speech, Sanctus, Sanctus Dominus, Alleluia. Follow him wherever he may go. There isn't an ocean too deep, a mountain so high it may be. Keep me away, I will follow him. Follow him wherever he may go. There isn't an ocean too deep, a mountain so high it can keep us away, away from his love. I love it. Yes, I love it. I'll follow. True love. Forever. I love him. I love him. I love him. And where he goes, I'll follow. I'll follow. I'll follow. He'll always be my true love. My true love. My true love. From now until forever. 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 There isn't an ocean too deep, a mountain so high it can keep us away, away from his love. You know you make me wanna shout, kick my heels up and shout, throw my hands up and shout, throw my head back and shout. Come on now, don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah, yeah. Say you will. Say it now, baby. Say you will. Come on, come on. Say you will. Say that you will. Say you will. Say that you love me. Say that you need me. Say that you want me. Say you want to please me. Say, come on now. Say, come on now. Say, come on now. Say. Little remember, shoot me to a when I used to be 9 years old. Shoot me to a I was a fool, shoo-be-doo-wah, from the bottom of my soul. Shoo-be-doo-wah, yeah. And like a foul, shoo-be-doo-wah, I will never let you go. Shoo-be-doo-wah, no. And if you ever leave, shoo-be-doo-wah, you know it's gonna hurt me so. Shoo-be-doo-wah. You know you make me wanna shout, kick my heels up and shout, throw my hands up and shout, throw my hair back and shout. Come on now, shout. Shout, shout, hey, 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 you know you make me wanna shout, kick my heels up and shout, throw my hands up and shout, throw my head back and shout. Come on now, shout, come on now, shout, come on now, shout, come on now, shout, come on now. Hallelujah. You know you make me wanna shout, yeah.
Right, we're going to sing our last song now, and then we leave you in peace so you can carry on with your things. The final song is originated in South Africa as a Zulu folk song, and it was written actually the year before I was born, so I'm not very old. And it was started off as a hymn, and it was re-recorded and widely popularised throughout churches and schools. Tonight, Narva Serendipity ladies are going to sing Sia Hamba.
Sia Hamba kukeneni kwenko, Sia Hamba kukeneni kwenko, Sia Hamba kukeneni kwenko, Sia Hamba kukeneni kwenko, Sia Hamba, Sia Hamba, Sia Hamba kukeneni kwenko, Sia Hamba, Sia Hamba, Sia Hamba kukeneni kwenko. We are marching in the light of God. 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 We are marching, marching, we are marching. Ooh, we are marching in the light of God. We are marching, marching, we are marching. Ooh, we are marching in the light of God. We are moving in the power 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 of God. We are moving, we are moving. Ooh, we are moving in the power of God. We are moving, we are moving. Ooh, we are moving in the power of God. Sia Hamba kukeneni kwenko, Sia Hamba kukeneni kwenko, Sia Hamba kukeneni kwenko, Sia Hamba kukeneni kwenko, Sia Hamba, Sia Hamba, Sia Hamba kukeneni kwenko, Sia
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd just like to take a few minutes now while the choir are leaving to refresh your drinks or visit the toilet, then we'll be starting in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Just nominees, finalists, and winners. It doesn't say. I can try and Here. I need to be able to. Okay. Is that all right? Is it?
She was supposed to be on this table.
Okay, if you'd like to take your seats, please, we'll be starting the awards ceremony in just a minute. Okay, I think we're ready to make a start. If I can, by all means, do continue to eat your desserts. They look fantastic, so do carry on eating, but we need to make a start so that we can finish at a reasonable hour. So, Croeso, welcome to the Pembrokeshire Volunteering Awards 2023. Now, my name is Sue Leonard, and I'm Chief Officer of PAVS. And it's lovely to see so many people here this evening. Thank you so much for turning up on what I think is quite an awful night outside, looking at the rain spattered backs of people who've come in. So thank you for coming, and I hope that you've enjoyed your meal. So first of all, just a few housekeeping things. So I think there was permission slips on all of the tables. We will be taking photographs, and I have to say that this event is being live streamed. First time I've ever done it live streamed. But if you're uncomfortable about any aspect of having your photograph taken or being potentially streamed live on the internet, please do speak to a member of the PAVS staff as soon as possible. So I've got a few thank yous to say. I'm going to say them at the start rather than the end. So first, I'd like to thank Southhook LNG for their sponsorship and also for presenting an award later this evening. I'd like to thank the Pure West radio team who are here this evening, H, Tom, Toby and Matthew. They're filming the awards for anybody watching at home. They're interviewing the winners. And I also like to thank Matthew in particular for being a guest presenter later on this evening. I'd like to thank the other presenters, Gwen Beckett, Councillor Delmy Harris, Jane Tucker, and Mairig Raymond, the High Sheriff of Dyfed. Thanks to the Serendipity Choir for some absolutely amazing entertainment, and to Block and Barrel for the great food. To Menna, yeah, give them a good round of applause. Thank you to Menna Williams for the amazing awards that you can see up here on the front table. And finally, to the Queen's Hall for helping to set up the room and for making it all possible here. They've been great hosts, so thank you very much. So perhaps we could give a round of applause to all of those, please. So there are 7 categories of awards this evening. And I have to say, first of all, well done to everybody in the room for making it through to the finals of the awards. It's already a great achievement to be a finalist, because this year we had a very large number of nominations. I'm pleased to say that it's easily back to pre-COVID numbers and probably a bit higher. Now, of course, that means that the panels who have sat and looked at the nominations in each category have had a really difficult job. It's always hard, but this year was particularly hard because of the numbers involved. Or anyone that was nominated for an award will get a certificate of nomination to recognise and celebrate their achievements and the amazing contributions to improving the lives of people in Pembrokeshire and communities across the county. And just at that point, I would like us to give a round of applause, not just to everybody in the room here, but to the thousands of people who volunteer day in, day out across the whole county. Without volunteer effort, this county would be much the poorer place. So please just put your hands together to thank all the Pembrokeshire volunteers. Okay, so this is how it's going to work, or we hope it's going to work. So I will, each category has a winner. There's also certificates for highly commended and commended. And in some categories, we may have more than one commended or highly commended certificate, but only one winner. So I will announce the category, and I'll invite the guest presenter to come up to the stage first. I'll then, in some categories, I'll let you know who they read out all the nominees, but I'll certainly in every category tell you a little bit about each of the finalists. who please do stay seated until I've read out the piece and explained a little bit about the background of each of the nominees. And then the presenter will have the envelope, we'll open the envelope and we'll announce the winners. It's just like the Oscars, okay? And the winner is, I'll then invite the winner up to the stage, and hopefully we give everybody a good round of applause. And then I'll invite the highly commended and the commended finalists to come up and join the winner. Then all of the winner, the commended and the highly commended will be guided by members of PAVS staff to a separate room. I think it's upstairs. There is a lift. And you will have your official photograph taken. And also the winners will be offered the opportunity to be interviewed. And the interview will be played, all the interviews will be played on Pure West Radio on Saturday between 10 and 12. But you can also see it via the app and on the website, and you can listen to it for up to 90 days. So you can share it with all your friends and family. But really, they're great volunteering stories, and collectively says a lot. It will give a really great collation of stories that people can listen to about the benefits of volunteering. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. There will be some photographs will be taken whilst you're on the stage, but the official photographs will be taken upstairs, and there'll be plenty of opportunity at the end for lots of photographs to be taken. We always finish the evening with one big group photograph of everybody. So once you've been upstairs and had your photographs taken, please do come back down into the hall and take your seats again at the tables. Okay, I think we'll move straight then on to the first category of this evening. And that category is for young volunteer. So a young volunteer, I think aged under 25 years of age. And I'd first of all like to welcome our guest presenter to the stage, Councillor Delmy Harris. Councillor Harris is the Pembrokeshire County Council Welsh Language and Children and Young People's Champion. Delmy also happens to be the special advisor on PAVS board, so we know him well. And Delmy's done a very great deal with young people, particularly through his long association with the Young Farmers Club. I think you can come up the steps in the centre. Thank you, Delmy. Okay. Right, so here we're looking at young volunteers. I'm just going to very quickly read some of the nominees who were Caris Ribbon, nominated by Sport Pembrokeshire, Emily Cook, Newport Community Library, Finley Turner, Milford Youth Matters, Henry Dorgy, Plant Dowie, Molly Evans, Megan Starr Foundation, Morgan Rees, Tenby Museum and Art Gallery, Neve Peterson, Newport Community Library, and Sophie Howell, Pembrokeshire Care, Share and Give. And the finalists are, and please stay seated for now, but the finalists are Finley Turner, Milford Youth Matters, Henry Dorgy, Plant Dowie, and Molly Evans, Megan Starr Foundation. So let's give them all a round of applause. I'll tell you a little bit about each one. Finley Turner, first of all. Finley is involved in volunteering in Milford Youth Matters in all of their activities, such as community football matches, charity golf days, open events, the pop-up shop, and he has also spoken at events promoting Milford Youth Matters to organisations and communities across the whole of Wales. He's a regular volunteer at the weekly Winter Warmer Night cooking, serving, cleaning and running the evening as part of a team of volunteers. In fact, he volunteers with absolutely anything he can get involved in, and he's 14 years of age. He volunteers in the evenings, after school, and during the holiday comes in most days, and he helps to run events, and he's a fantastic ambassador. And the nominator said, Finley has worked hard to provide new and exciting opportunities to other young people in Milford Haven. He's engaged with local businesses and organisations and helped challenge the often negative perception of young people. Finley is inspirational because he can always see the positives and opportunities in the situations presented. His ambition and drive is powerful, his positivity, friendliness and courage is contagious, and he always draws out the best in people. Moving on now to Henry Dorji, who likes to be called Tashi. So Tashi volunteers with the Plant Dowie Men's Project based in Pembroke. He has supported cycling, walking, gardening, grounds maintenance, renovation work, groundworks, carpentry projects, to name but a few. Whilst participating in these activities, Tashi has been able to volunteer alongside fathers who take part in the sessions, and he's been able to form really positive, encouraging relationships with them. He's actually a full-time student, so he has many demands on his time, yet he gives generously of the time that he does have to volunteer at Plant Dowie. The nominator said, "I think it's unusual to find a young volunteer that has both the level of commitment and offers the standard of support that Tashi has given to the project. He's one of those volunteers who always seem to be able to predict and anticipate what is needed. Tashi has a great sense of humour and fun, and he does not shy away from hard work." But Tashi would say that volunteering with Plant Dowie has opened doors to all kinds of experiences, and he's met wonderful people, and he feels that this has made him more confident and given him many new skills. And the last finalist is Molly Evans. Now, Molly volunteers in a number of roles at Megan's Star Foundation, including the Community Coffee House, the Speakeasy Coffee Van. She's an ambassador and a peer mentor to other young people. She helps barista train other young volunteers. She runs craft classes, games nights, and activity classes. She also runs the charity's TikTok account and often stars in TikToks herself to help promote the charity and break the stigma surrounding mental health. Molly lost her sister to suicide 7 years ago when she was just 11 years old, and she started volunteering at the coffee house last November during the warm nights. Initially quite shy, her confidence began to grow through her volunteering. She has used her own personal experiences to support others in the community and has an excellent rapport with young people and older people alike. The nominator said, "Molly is kind, friendly, empathetic and understanding. Her kindness and enthusiasm helps new volunteers feel welcome and comfortable. She is constantly making a safe space and makes sure everyone feels welcome. Nothing is too much trouble for her. Her personal struggles have helped her to see things from different perspectives, and this has been invaluable. And Molly will never let anyone leave without a smile." So those are our 3 finalists. I'm now going to pass the envelope to Delmy, who will announce the winner, who should then please come to the stage.
Okay, this is real tense, isn't it?
You'll
We should have a drum roll.
on the tables.
Okay, so, and the winner is of the Young Volunteer Award, Molly Evans, Megan Star Foundation.
Okay, and then I'd like to invite the highly commended is Finley Turner, Milford Youth Matters. And the commended is Tashi Dorji, but unfortunately Tashi can't be here with us this evening, but we'll make sure that he gets his commended certificate. So round of applause, please, for our young volunteers. Okay, so we're now going to move on to the next category of award, which is the Mike Beckett Award. And this is awarded to a group of volunteers aged under 25. So we're still looking at young volunteers at this stage. Now, the Mike Beckett Award is so named because Mike was a former member of staff at PAVS, and he sadly passed away very suddenly in 2015. Mike was a lifelong volunteer with the Cub and Scout movement, and he started helping out as soon as he was old enough to do so and volunteered all his life. He was Cub leader, Scout leader, Venture Scout leader, and then he became interested in the Air Cadets through his oldest son and was soon volunteering as a civilian instructor. He worked tirelessly to support young people gain the Duke of Edinburgh and MVQ awards in aviation and public service. There were many other things that Mike did very quietly and without fuss, helping friends and neighbours with IT, walking dogs, helped out in the local school in various ways. He helped out in his local church. And he was always to be found in the kitchen, washing up after events, a genuinely kind and thoughtful person. So Mike is an example of the very best in volunteering, and his belief in young people was second to none. He was also a very valued colleague of ours and part of the extended PAVS family. And for that reason, for the past few years, we've dedicated the award for individuals under 25 to Mike in his memory. And I'm delighted to welcome his wife, Gwen, to present the awards. Nice to see you, Gwen. Thank you. Okay, so the finalists in this category are Megan's Star Young Volunteers, Newport Library Young Volunteers, Neve and Emily, and Paul Satori Oral History Project Young Volunteers. So we'll start first of all with Megan Star Foundation Young Volunteers. Megan Star Foundation Young Volunteers are at the core of everything the foundation has achieved. The charity is youth-led, and the innovative ways of working are spearheaded by the young people. The idea of the coffee house was inspired by what they wanted, and the hours that the coffee house is open is all down to their hard work and their dedication. Over the past 12 months, just in the coffee house, they have provided over 2,000 hours of volunteering, and that does not include all the extra initiatives such as the wellbeing walks, the beach cleans, the activity sessions, and being out in the speakeasy van. Alongside this, they have collaboratively provided over 3,000 hot meals and drinks to the community with the Warm Nights project. The nominator said, "These young volunteers have not only provided services to the public at the coffee house, but have also provided peer support to other young people who have needed a helping hand. They have inspired other young people to reach out, gain support, and then also become volunteers. And this has changed the lives of many young people who have been in crisis. The volunteers bring experience, empathy, and kindness to their role, and they also bring a huge amount of other skills that are essential for peer supporting. They are truly heroes and a huge asset to our community." Moving on now to the Newport Library volunteers. These two young volunteers were initially nominated in the individual category, but the judges found it very difficult to judge them against each other, so used their discretion to move them into the group category. Emily, who's 19, and Neve, who is 16, volunteer at the Newport Community Library, where they undertake a number of tasks from using the library software, issuing returns and renewing books, processing requests and answering various questions from library users. They reshelve books and check that books are in the correct places. Both are excellent with IT and the library systems, and they actually provide support to other volunteers. Neve also signs up new library members, deals with book club orders, and helps to run the digital drop-in sessions in the library. And Emily has also supported sessions at the library with children from the local primary school. The library is highly valued by members of the community and the local primary school. And really, it is because of the contribution of volunteers like Emily and Neve that keep that library open. The nominator said, to begin with, Emily was shy and reserved, but learning new skills and working face-to-face with the public has increased her confidence. And she enjoys working as part of a team as well as independently. She's made new friends and now can talk to members of the public with relative ease. She's now got a job and feels her experience with the library has helped her a great deal in actually getting that job. Neve has been a very positive presence in the library. She has a sunny personality that radiates out to others. She's very positive and very enthusiastic about everything. And what stands out about Neve is that she's comfortable talking to people of all age groups. Given that the majority of other volunteers are in the older category, Neve fits in very well and is very mature in her attitude towards her volunteer role. And finally, Paul Satori, All History Project Young Volunteers. There are 3 young volunteers in this group, all aged 17 years, Elizabeth Watson, Bradley Cole and Howell Mansell. They are all students of Pembrokeshire College and have taken the time to volunteer for the Voices from the Community Oral History Project. Now, the volunteers in this project have assisted with what is very skilled work, transcribing interviews that have been undertaken in the community so that they can be uploaded and saved in the People's Collection Wales social history website. They've only been volunteering with the project for a few months, but they have made a really significant impact in that short time. They have used a wide range of skills, including active listening from audio files, excellent typing and keyboard skills, good communications, editing, time management, and a real attention to detail. They each spend several hours every week helping to do the technical work of working from audio files so that transcriptions can be completed. The nominator said, in assisting the Voices from the Community Oral History Project, the 3 young volunteers have had to manage competing demands on their time. They are all still in education, and so sparing time to help the charity requires a lot of sacrifice from them of their own time and other commitments. They are motivated and determined to give the best of their abilities. They are extremely friendly, personable, and really want to make a difference. They have been a real asset to the project. So I'm now going to ask Gwen Beckett to open the envelope and to announce the winner of the Group Award of Young Volunteers.
The winners of the Mike Beckett Award are Megan Star Foundation Young Volunteers.
Would you like to come up to the stage, please? Well, you know the way. Nobody wants to drop it. No, come on. Okay, let's give them a round of applause, please. Okay, and then I'd like to invite the highly commended to come to the stage, the Newport Library Young Volunteers, Emily and Neve. Would you like to come up and get your highly commended certificate, please? And finally, the commended ones, the Paul Sartori Oral History Project Young Volunteers, Elizabeth, Bradley and Howell. If you're here, would you like to come up and get your certificate, please? Okay, and a last round of applause, please, for all the young volunteers. Well done. Well done to the two of you. Okay, it is really great to hear those stories of young people volunteering. And I think the really great thing is that not only do they, you know, the volunteering that they do benefit people out in communities, but actually you can tell from the stories that the young people themselves are gaining a great deal from that volunteering opportunity. So it's a win-win all round and really, really great achievements. Okay, moving on to the third category, and this is the category of trustees, trustee board members. And we've got one of PAVS trustees here this evening to present the awards. So I'm going to ask Jane Tucker, who is our amazing trustee with responsibility for finance, so I have to keep her sweet. She's going to come and present the award. And I have to say that Jane was good enough to step in at the last minute. I'm presenting apologies from our chair, Claire Incledon, who unfortunately is unwell and not able to join us this evening. So Jane has stepped in at the last minute, but a very worthy stand-in for Claire. So thank you. Now, this award, for those of you sitting in the room who are on boards, this is not an easy job. And it's not a job that appeals to everybody. Most people, when anybody's, who wants to be treasurer, the eyes go straight down, don't they? Who wants to be secretary? Everybody leaves the room to go to the toilet at that point. So, but actually, we need good trustees and good board members. We have, in Pembrokeshire, we're blessed in terms of the hundreds of groups that there are in Pembrokeshire. And most of those groups need a management committee, and some of the larger ones need, a really strong board of trustees, many of whom are also directors if it's also a company limited by guarantee. And once you start to be on a board of an organisation that's employing staff and managing money and, premises like here, Queen's Hall, you need some really good people on boards. And so it's not the sexy end of volunteering, but it's absolutely critical to the sustainability of the sector. So thanks to everybody in this room who sits on a committee. You're the unsung heroes of the sector. So anyway, this category gives us a chance to recognise some of those trustees. So we've had a number of nominees: Kathy Davis from Span Arts, Cherry Evans, Pembrokeshire Young Onset Dementia, Dinas Cross Wellbeing Hub, Pembrokeshire Baby Bank, South Ridgeway Community Association trustees, and Swim Narberth trustees, Chris Walters and Martin James. And the finalists are Kathy Davis, Span Arts, South Ridgeway Community Association trustees, and Swim Narberth, a CIO, Chris and Martin. So let's hear a bit about each of them. We'll start first of all with Kathy Davis from Span Arts. Now, Kathy's been volunteering for Span Arts for many years. She joined the board in October 2014 as was appointed chair in July 2017. And since becoming chair, Kathy has had to lead the organisation through COVID. where SPAN's artistic output had to move completely online. So after the pandemic, Kathy continued to push the charity forward. And then the director of the charity moved to take on another role. And so Kathy oversaw an ambitious recruitment process that resulted in the innovative selection of the current director. She's also been instrumental in diversifying the makeup of the trustee board at SPAN, ensuring that the board is diverse and representative of the communities that SPAN serves. As a trustee, Kathy is committed to enabling SPAN to act progressively and support the team's forward-thinking approach. And that enables the charity to experiment, adapt and reflect, and to democratise creativity across the county and tackle some of the very real barriers to engagement faced by our rural communities. The nominator said, "Kathy is committed, personable, diligent and caring, and she's not afraid of challenges. She's always on the lookout to build SPAN's work and improve and strengthen the trust. She's always had a very clear vision for the future of the organisation, and she's contributed significantly to SPAN and the community, from helping with funding applications, being a core volunteer at events, and hosting brilliant staff away days in her yurt." PAVS staff needn't get excited. Kathy has an energetic and kind-natured spirit with keen interest to make things happen for the organisation. She's inspirational because of her dedicated support towards the organisation and her amazing and unique style. Moving to the South Ridgeway Community Association trustees. The South Ridgeway Community Association was established with the objective of enhancing the local community and advancing the amenities available in Manorbier. Following years of planning, fundraising and unwavering dedication, the Giraldus Centre Manorbier was ceremoniously inaugurated in 2023. Great achievement, well done. The committee's dedication extended to frequent site visits, consultations to ensure the project remained on course. And as the construction phase neared its culmination, the committee redoubled their efforts, galvanising the local communities and undertaking the labour-intensive task of painting the entire structure on more than one occasion. In addition, they planted an orchard and are presently engaged in landscaping the surrounding grounds of the centre. Since its completion, the Giraldus Centre has flourished under the leadership of the committee. It now hosts a diverse array of daily classes, including Pilates, line dancing, sit, fit, and kids clubs, among others, as well as a weekly event such as a food hub and coffee morning. It has become a venue for a multitude of events, ranging from birthday parties and wedding receptions to community gatherings. The nominator said, "What truly sets the South Ridgeway Community Association apart is its unwavering commitment to inclusivity and support in a society where some people may feel abandoned or marginalised. The association operates as a closely knit family where everyone is encouraged and welcomed with open arms. Importantly, the spirit of this community initiative is characterised by warmth, smiles, and infectious laughter, creating an environment that uplifts the human spirit and fosters a sense of belonging. Their unrelenting commitment to enhancing our community's amenities is nothing short of commendable." And thirdly, Swim Narberth. Both Martin and Chris joined as trustees at the start of the COVID pandemic and came on board when the pool was experiencing difficult times and had a somewhat negative image in the local community. Chris's skills were immediately put to good use on health and safety, whilst Martin's skills were used to recruit new staff and train up new swimming teachers and lifeguards to man the pool. They successfully navigated the pool around its compliance during COVID, and as we came out of COVID, supported the Return to Water programme and the recruitment of new trustees and staff for the pool. Both have been instrumental in helping to make Swim Narberth one of Pembrokeshire's premium pools for child swimming lessons and a venue for all the community to enjoy. As well as bringing additional specialist skills to the board, you can always find them doing something at the pool and checking that the team are happy and have everything they need. The nominator said, Martin and Chris have supported Swim Narberth through a very difficult period when there had been equipment breakdowns and general staff issues and sadly customer complaints. But they've managed to get past all that. They now have 10 new staff members, including a new pool manager. They've implemented a Learn to Swim programme and they've used new technologies and made sure all staff feel valued in their role. Customer complaints are now very rarely received, but customer compliments have gone through the roof. They are just brilliant. They commit so much time out of their already busy lives to support us at the pool. They're always at the end of a phone, and if it's something they can't handle over the phone, they'll be in the building within a few hours to sort the issue out. So those are our 3 finalists, and I'm going to ask Jane now to announce the winner of the Trustee Award 2023.
Right. And this has got nothing to do, I assure you, with the fact that I was sat next to them this evening. But the winners are Swim Narberth trustees, Chris Walters, Chairman, and Martin James, Deputy Chairman.
Well done. Well done. Okay. And I'm going to invite the highly commended Kathy Davis from Span Arts and commended South Ridgeway Community Association trustees. Would you like to come up to the stage, please, to collect your certificates? It's a long walk, isn't it, when you're coming from the back? Okay, thank you, Kathy, and South Ridgeway Community Association trustees. We can certainly come down and do that. Yes, 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 it would be. Yes. It's amazing. Yes, I was just saying that I looked, when I was preparing, I looked at the Giralda Centre on the website and it looks absolutely amazing. And just to say that in Pembrokeshire, we are fortunate to have a network of at least 85 excellent community buildings in the county. This is one of them. And they are all run by teams of dedicated volunteers. And the amount of activity that happens across the county in those community buildings is fantastic. So, yeah, well done to everybody that runs a community building in Pembrokeshire. Okay, where am I now? Right, so I'm in the right place. Okay, so we've now moving into the part of the programme which is for the next few categories are for individual volunteers aged over 25. So that's quite a big age range, over the age of 25. And the judges had a really difficult time with these categories. So a lot of the individuals were nominated in more than one category, and many could have been easily commended or highly commended or even winners in more than one category. So let's just say that the deliberations took a while. They also wanted me to add that they do not award extra points for tattoos. And I'm not sure, I'm sure that will be explained later, but we'll see. So this group had a large number of nominees, but we just wanted to make sure that everybody got a mention. So just bear with me here, please. And I'm just going to read a list of names out. And can we give them all a huge round of applause when I get to the end? So Adam Vincent, Pembrokeshire Care, Share and Give. Amy Barrett, the VC Gallery. Bill Towler, the Mount Community Centre. Bob Elliott, Hywel Dda University Health Board. Brenda Saunders, Volunteering Matters. Chris McEwen, Pembroke and Pembroke Dock Boxing Club. Debbie Watson, Hywel Dda University Health Board. Elizabeth Rogers, the Queen's Hall, Narberth. Emma Lewis, Routes to Recovery, Mentor, Pembrokeshire Coast National Park. Yayan Matthews, Sandy Bear Children's Bereavement Charity. Jackie Baker, Tenby Museum and Art Gallery. James Puttock, Pembrokeshire Frame. John Roach, the VC Gallery. Kay Macken, Age Cymru Dyfed. Lynn Wheeler, the VC Gallery. Margaret Povey, Age Cymru Dyfed. Mary Willington, Pembroke Dock Heritage Centre. Nicola Hartfelt, Megan Starr Foundation. And Susan Williams, the VC Gallery. Can we give them all a huge round of applause, please? Right, so at this point, I'm going to step away from the microphone, you'll be pleased to hear, and I'm going to hand over to my colleague Louise Wilkinson, who's going to present the long service, who's going to tell you about the next category of award, which is for long service volunteers. And I'm going to be the presenter. I'm not quite the longest serving member of the PAVS team, but this will be, I'm sad to say, my last Pembrokeshire Volunteering Awards ceremony, because I am due to retire at some point next year. So the team thought it would be good for me just to have a step away from the microphone and see what it's like on the other side presenting an award for the first time, because I've never had the chance. So thank you. I'm going to hand you over to Louise.
You can go and stand up. Yes, I will. Getting her away from the microphone is another matter. Yeah, Sue basically just stole what I was going to say, but bear with me for a moment. As Sue says, she's not technically the current longest serving member of PAVS staff, but we're pretty sure she's done more hours than anybody else put together. And the colleagues that have been with us a little bit longer were like, no, we'd like Sue to do it. That's fine. So they're happy for Sue to present this year. And when we talk about long service and the years that individuals in this room have contributed to their volunteering, often alongside other commitments, the numbers are truly inspirational. I'm always wowed when the nomination forms come in. And this year's no different. But just before we start that, I want to take a moment to talk about some of the numbers on this stage. So please indulge me just for a moment. On the stage at the moment, there's over 40 years of PAVS experience. And it's been my pleasure to spend all of my years at PAVS working alongside Sue. We started in the same week in 2004. I think I was technically still classed a young person at that point, but I'm not sure. I wasn't winning any awards, let's put it that way. Oh, Sue was a young person, and neither of us had any grey hairs, I don't think, but we won't go into that. Working with Sue was a series of firsts. First PAVS timesheet, first event, first monitoring report, first AGM. And so many more, I've probably forgotten half of them. But sadly now, as Sue says, it's become a progression of lasts. Last AGM, last volunteering awards. Sue has been a constant presence for many of us for many years, and we will all miss her when she retires. Obviously, I'm going to see her more often because she's going to be coming in and asking what volunteering she can get involved with. So I will look forward to that. And speaking of volunteering, we'll get back to the programme, I promise. Okay. So the finalists in this category are Bob Elliott from Hywel Dda University Health Board, Debbie Watson from Hywel Dda University Health Board, Elizabeth Rogers, the Queen's Hall Narberth, Kay Macken, Age Cymru Dyfed, and Margaret Povey from Age Cymru Dyfed. So we'll hear a little bit about each of those. Bob Elliott has volunteered for over 7 years as a volunteer in A&E at Withybush. He's given unwavering support to patients, their relatives, alongside the staff at the unit, a couple of evenings every week. And during COVID, when he couldn't undertake his normal volunteering role, he supported in many other ways, including delivery of PPE, as well as supporting the field hospital at Bluestone on a weekly basis. Bob covered many miles delivering much needed PPE on a community basis, including to care homes, GP surgeries. He supported in any way he could during this time, completing a real mixture of tasks to help staff, patients, and the wider community. Christmas every year, Bob works with Morrison's in Haverfordwest to gather together enough mince pies to deliver to the whole hospital, which he's done every year since 2018. Just to note, Bob, PAVS staff also enjoy mince pies. He does this independently, and it's very much welcomed and appreciated by the staff at Withybush. The staff look forward to it so much that the annual mince pie run, and it's annual every year, they now think it's not Christmas until it's happened, which is obviously a great morale booster for everyone. The nominator said, Bob is an inspirational and exceptional character, will do anything to support people, patients, visitors, relatives, staff, and the NHS generally. He's a dedicated and motivated individual that wants to make a real difference to the lives of people of all ages. He sees the best in people and sees that the way they sometimes behave through aggression and anger, especially in A&E where he volunteers, is often because of the situation that they're faced, and he often diffuses many difficult situations through his calmness, empathy, and general support. Volunteering in what can be a volatile environment shows Bob's nature. He's such a supportive and compassionate man. It's true to say he has supported and touched the lives of thousands of people during his time volunteering. Bob doesn't realise the impact he has on the people around him. He's such a genuine and kind soul who lifts spirits wherever he is, and his volunteering is a true reflection of his personality and values. Debbie Watson has volunteered for 7 years on a weekly basis, providing many hours of support to patients and their families. Debbie's undertaking a number of volunteering roles, including befriending, meeting and greeting, taking notes, helping with the collection of data for surveys. And again, during COVID, Debbie helped with weekly deliveries of PPE and did other community tasks in the county when her normal role wasn't available. Debbie returned to volunteer in Withybush and supported a patient on a one-to-one basis for over a year. This was done because the patient had no family or relatives nearby, and Debbie even took washing home with her to ensure the lady had constant clean supply of clothes. Patient had a speech impairment which made communication difficult, but Debbie persevered with this and became the only person who understood her. So much so, on discharge to the care home, Debbie accompanied the patient to ensure she settled in. Debbie also supports other volunteers who may be nervous or anxious starting their own volunteering journey. The nominator said, Debbie has changed the lives of many people over the years with her calm approach and general lovely demeanour. She's put the most vulnerable patients at ease with her calm approach and very empathetic nature, understanding people's thought processes and difficulties they face. Indeed, she supported volunteers as well as being a fantastic buddy for new volunteers, and they learn the ropes from Debbie. Debbie is a very caring individual and wants to listen to their views and improve things for them. She has excellent communication skills and is a real can-do person and problem solver. Debbie's continuity of care ensures patients can settle after their hospital stay and supports wherever she can to ensure the patient feels supported in every way she can. Elizabeth Rogers has volunteered with the Queen's Hall for over 30 years. Her father was a trustee in the 80s and she herself was a trustee over 10 years ago. Elizabeth has been volunteering on a grander scale since 2021 due to bereavement. She supports the hall on a weekly basis, both at live events and at community markets, often volunteering several times a week for 5 to 7 hours at a time. She currently volunteers at every event the Queen Hall's put on. And to put that into perspective, there are 73 live events this year alone. She's a very busy person. The nominator said, Elizabeth is proudly born and bred in Narberth and loves her community dearly, even having the town hall tattooed on her leg. So there we go. We found out. No additional points though. Sorry, Elizabeth. The judges said so. Sorry, I was laughing so much at that I've lost my place. She knows the community well, which is a real resource. Word of mouth is key to engage local communities, and Elizabeth does this with real ease and passion. She's warm and approachable and would go out of her way to help people. If she doesn't know certain information, she'll find out. Elizabeth often shares volunteering supports her with her loneliness, and she loves being part of the volunteer family, helping out whenever she can. We are so proud of Elizabeth for coming along to such a large number of events to volunteer in the shadow of such huge personal loss. She's always friendly, helpful, knowledgeable, and will always help anyone, no matter what's happening. We can't thank her enough for all her dedication to the hall. Now, the judges wanted me to note the next two volunteers both undertake a similar role with Age Cymru, David, within the information and advice team. So we'll cover them both together to some extent, and then I'll talk a bit about their role first and then them individually. So Kay and Margaret are both assist clients with filling in welfare benefit application forms, which individuals find too challenging to complete without support. This includes liaising with people throughout the application process, guiding them and helping them to navigate through the application questions, providing support and back to the information and advice team as required. It's quite a complicated role and it takes real dedication. So Kay has given 6 years to volunteering with Age Cymru Dyfed and many more to its predecessors. She visits clients every week to assist them with completing forms in their own homes, which can take a few hours per client. She chooses to volunteer with the information and advice team. She had seen in her career what a difference this kind of support can make by supporting clients to apply for the funds, to buy in services, to maintain their independence and improving their quality of life and their well-being. To offer to support new members of staff and share her knowledge and experience is also helping to develop the team as a whole and frees up other staff who would be needed to do other work. The nominator said, Kay is dedicated and passionate about supporting other people to have a better quality of life. Kay knows the impact not being able to do things that we take for granted can negatively affect a person's mental health and ultimately their physical health. The difference a bit of extra money can make really improves people's situation. Kay sees the person and the wonderful contribution they made throughout their lives and wants to help them apply for financial support so they can continue to enjoy their home and the things they like to do without the worry of what they can't do. Kay is an exceptional volunteer who looks to support the staff as well as the clients. We value her experience, knowledge and generosity of time in supporting people in the community to have a better quality of life. Margaret Povey has dedicated 7 years to volunteering with Age Cymru Dyfed and many more years to its predecessor. Margaret volunteers every week to assist clients, again with completing forms, and it can take a few hours per client. Margaret is passionate about supporting people. She's volunteered for many years with other organisations, including the Samaritans. She's compassionate and a strong, active listener and proactive in ensuring as many people as possible know about the help that they can get. Margaret is also generous with her support of new volunteers and raises awareness for people who may be entitled to financial support and may be unaware of what support's available or lacks the confidence to apply for that support independently. The nominator said, Margaret has a fantastic can-do approach to life. Despite her own health challenges, she champions for others and makes a meaningful contribution to well-being of over 50s in Pembrokeshire. Many people would have just focused on their own difficulties, but Margaret is dedicated and passionate about supporting other people to have a better quality of life. For her to have continued supporting people over such an extended period of time whilst navigating her own challenges shows exceptional dedication and deserves recognition. Margaret is an inspiration to our other volunteers, an example for those yet to come forward to volunteer of what can be achieved. Margaret is dedicated, committed, and a valued volunteer. So we can invite Sue back now. She'll be glad to know she can come back to the microphone.
Right. Okay, so, and the winner of the Long Service Award 2023 is Elizabeth Rogers, the Queen's Hall, Narberth. And there's your
And the judges wanted me to let everybody know that in this particular category, they found it very difficult to differentiate between the other nominees as well. So we have 4 commendeds, which is everybody else in this category. So if I could ask all of them to come up and receive their certificates, that would be amazing. Bob Elliott, Debbie Watson, Kay Macken, and Margaret Povey. If you could come up, please. Thank you. This is Bob and Debbie. Bob, yeah, and Debbie. Yeah, they come in. Yeah, I can see them. Do you want to start? Yeah.
Okay, we have Margaret and Kay.
Kay's not come. Is Margaret?
Oh, Margaret's not in. Okay.
We can go to Margaret. Would you like to go to Margaret and then go upstairs for photos? And I'll carry on.
Yes. Okay. A round of applause, then, please.
Thank you. Yeah, if you go go that way. Yeah. So while Sue goes off for the official photos, you've got me for a little bit longer. The next category is the Mary Sigley Award. This award celebrates the life, sense of fun and true community spirit of Mary Sigley, who worked with PAVS for a short time, but made a huge impact on all of us because of her enthusiasm and belief in what people could achieve. Mary sadly died in 2006, and we created this award in her memory and awarded it every year since. So if I could ask Matthew from Pure West Radio to join me on the stage, please. Thank you. And the finalists in this category are Bill Towler from the Mount Community Centre, Brenda Saunders, Volunteering Matters, and Christopher McEwen from the Pembroke and Pembroke Dock Boxing Club. So we'll hear a little bit about each of them. Bill Towler moved on to the Mount Estate 3 years ago. He visited the Mount Community Centre to attend one of the regular community lunches, having been nagged to do so by his partner. I can hear chuckles, they're obviously here, and has been volunteering with them practically ever since. Bill undertakes a number of tasks. He helps in the kitchen, cooking, serving and clearing at lunches. He runs the kitchen during bingo sessions, giving him the nickname of Burger Bill. And he cares for the community garden, watering and caring for the plants. Bill has trusted access status, which means he has access to the garden 24/7. He shoveled tons of earth when the garden was set up and put up the marquee. He sets up and clears furniture for groups and events. And if there are any issues, for example, when Storm Betty destroyed the marquee, he was the first one on hand to help put things right. There is no job too big or too small for him to get involved with. Bill has also helped those in the community who couldn't get into the centre for events or meals, visiting them and delivering food to them in their homes. The nominator said, when Bill moved into the area, he had very few friends or family locally and needed to find a reason to leave the house. He needed to tackle his withdrawal into himself and raise his feelings of self-worth. Volunteering has been the route which this has taken place. Bill faced many challenges in his life, the loss of his mother at a young age, followed by a difficult relationship with his father, which led to issues of feeling of isolation, lack of support that continued into adult life. Low self-esteem and feeling isolated led to periods of depression, but he never felt he could or should seek support for himself. Since helping at the centre, this has changed hugely. Bill feels a sense of pride from the assistance he gives to others and thoroughly enjoys the interactions he has with everyone who attends, from the youngsters who love to play with him to the trustees who genuinely would have difficulty in managing the running of the centre without his help. Every community needs a Bill. He feels truly valued, which of course he is. This has helped raise his self-esteem and improved his mental health. Bill has also found his alter ego, Belinda, who sometimes visits us for special occasions. And whether Bill or Belinda, his constant and reliable and good-humoured support is much appreciated. Skills he's learned at the community centre have brought added pleasure to his home too. He's developed a lovely garden in the courtyard of his home and often shares plants and produce with those at the centre, either to the individuals or back into the community garden. In fact, he told me, this is the nominator, that this is the first time since 2004 he feels he is genuinely part of a community. Brenda Saunders has been volunteering with Volunteering Matters since the start of the year and has not stopped since. She currently volunteers as an office support worker and a community volunteer for the Pembrokeshire Community Hub. She also volunteers in the gardens at Picton Castle. Brenda's been supporting a young person with travelling training and supporting them as a companion once a week, allowing that young person to travel to their volunteer placement safely. Initially, the young person was unable to go on their own due to anxiety and low confidence, but through her calming and caring supportive approach, the support has proved so successful that recently the young person says he or she is now able to travel alone. Brenda also supports 2 elderly ladies with their gardens and ensures that they are involved by offering them tasks that she feels are achievable within their own abilities. The nominator said, Brenda radiates quietness, calmness, and gentleness. There was also a comment about timekeeping that the judges didn't ask me to put in, but I'm going to mention. Brenda is an excellent timekeeper and doesn't like it when other people are sometimes late. And I'm just mentioning that because there's somebody in the room that sometimes isn't always on time. So, sorry, Brenda. Brenda has excellent listening qualities and opposed to just hearing someone, will ask sensible questions in order to build up a picture of what's being asked of her and where she is best placed to offer her support. Her willingness to assist and support is never ending and goes hand in glove with her being a very reliable person. Now, this is a quote from Brenda. Volunteering basically saved my life. I'd lost my husband, having nursed him for many years, but also felt my life was over too. Through volunteering, I've met some great friends and more importantly, felt I had a purpose again. I'm feeling much more positive about myself and in particular spurred me on to making sure I am fit and healthy. And this has made a huge difference to my life already. Volunteering has given me back my life. My volunteering duties are so varied and I'm overjoyed at the difference I feel I'm making to so many people. Christopher McEwen volunteers for Pembroke and Pembroke Dock Amateur Boxing Club, where he runs inclusive boxing sessions. On a Thursday, he runs a session in Portfield School for children with disabilities. In the evening, he runs 3 inclusive sessions at the boxing club back-to-back: junior inclusion, senior inclusion, and wheelchair boxing. These sessions are free of charge. When you ask Chris why, he says it's because people with disabilities face enough additional costs and barriers in their lives, and he wants boxing to be accessible to them. These sessions are attended by people with a range of different disabilities, including learning disabilities, autism, hearing impairment, and wheelchair users. Chris tailors all of the activities to the individual and their ability so everyone is included and everyone can take part. The nominator said, Chris is an armed forces veteran, having served with the RAF and has toured Afghanistan, Iraq and the Falkland Islands. After leaving the armed forces, Chris experienced mental health difficulties. He would be overexcitable and then feeling really low. He'd be doing his job, but then coming home and locking himself away. This was the second time in his life that he tried to kill himself. Therapy helped Chris to make sense of what was going on, and he was diagnosed bipolar. The diagnosis allowed him to do something that would help himself. Chris carried on working till he had an accident at work, which resulted in him developing chronic regional pain syndrome. He is in constant pain with his condition, described it as having like he has shards of glass in his feet, 24/7. Chris found that he had time on his hands and wanted to rekindle his love of boxing. At Pembroke and Pembroke Amateur Boxing Club, through a range of different programmes for all ages and abilities. His favourite is the inclusion programme for children and adults with a range of disabilities. Chris finds volunteering with the inclusion programme so beneficial to him that he describes it as his medication. Volunteering, particularly with the inclusion programme, has given Chris purpose, is one of the most beautiful things he says he has ever done with his life. So if I could ask Matthew. Sorry.
Thank you.
And the winner of the Mary Sigley Award is Christopher McGowan of Pembroke Dock and Pembroke Dock Boxing Club.
Unfortunately, Chris can't be with us tonight, but Sarah is here to accept the award in his absence.
Thanks, Sarah. And the highly commended in the Mary Sigley Award is Bill Towler, the Mount Community Centre. And commended Brenda Saunders, Volunteering Matters. Okay, we're moving towards the end of the awards ceremony, and I just want to thank Louise for those kind words about we did join PAVS at the same time, and yeah, we were just whilst people are moving, I'll just tell you a funny, well, I think it's a funny story. We've been clearing out PAVS just to try and get rid of some of our clutter, and we came across some old photographs, and it reminded us of when we both started at PAVS. And I had worked in the community, volunteering community sector before for a couple of years, but I hadn't been at PAVS very long. Senior training officer. I started on a 1.5 year contract. 20 years later, I'm still here. But I had in the post, we used to have post in those days, I had in the post a lovely invitation to address to me for a community cheese and wine gathering. I thought, this is marvellous. I've only been here a couple of weeks and I've got an invitation to a community cheese and wine evening. So I turned the invitation over and it said, please bring your own cheese and wine. And an object to desecrate the table. I think they meant decorate. But I couldn't actually attend, so I never did find out. Yes, quite interesting. Right, life in the voluntary sector. It will ring a chord with all of you in the room, I'm sure. Right, so we're now moving on to the individual over 25. And I'm delighted to welcome to the stage the High Sheriff of Dyfed, Mairig Raymond to come and present the awards. So Mairig as High Sheriff, it's quite an important role in the county, particularly if we have visiting royalty coming to the 3 counties actually of Dyfed that make up Dyfed. So I'm going to wait for Mairig to get onto the stage. Right, so we have finalists in this category, some of whom we've met before. So Bill Towler, these are the finalists. Bill Towler, Mount Community Centre, Brenda Saunders, Volunteering Matters, Ieuan Matthews, Sandy Bear Children's Bereavement Charity, James Puttock, Pembrokeshire Frame, and Nicola Hartfelt, Megan's Star Foundation. And as we've already heard about Bill and Brenda, we'll just go on to meet the other finalists in this category. So I introduce you first to Ieuan Matthews. Ieuan volunteers with Sandy Bear Children's Bereavement Charity in their children's, teenagers, and parent carers bereavement support groups. He takes part in therapeutic and fundraising events, transports families to and from their appointments if they do not have transport, and in addition, he is a trustee for Sandy Bear. Ieuan shares with groups his own experiences of grief to normalise and empathise with the circumstances of the groups he works with. And within the group sessions, Ieuan supports with a range of activities which allows the children, young people, and their families to talk about how they are feeling, as well as remembering the happy memories of their loved ones. Ieuan is currently the only male bereavement support group volunteer, and he has been a huge asset when it comes to speaking to other males receiving support from the charity. The nominator said Ieuan takes the time to listen to the children, young people, and their families' stories, and he's able to empathise with them as they have each experienced their own bereavements. And as a trustee, he shares his thoughts and ideas around the work of the charity to ensure positive change and direction. He's an exceptional volunteer and extremely committed, and he has to sit and listen to many traumatic stories. But he always enters the groups with a smile on his face. He's extremely approachable and warm-hearted. You can ask him to carry out any task, and he's always happy to help, as he knows it will have a benefit to those people the Sandy Bear supports. Moving on to James Puttock. James, or Jamie as he is known, has volunteered in several different areas at Frame since 2017, and he's mastered the routines and procedures of several different departments. Just at the moment, he's helping to organise a bric-a-brac sale, ensuring that the correct recycling happens on the correct days. He also volunteers in the Frame kitchen, creating tasty, nutritious, and low-cost meals for participants, volunteers, and staff. Jamie has befriended many other participants at Frame, whom he supports and encourages. He is a spokesperson and advocate for less confident clients at Frame, which is greatly appreciated. Jamie's work in the kitchen is also greatly appreciated. He makes incredibly tasty meals, and which for some can be the only nutritious food that they have all week. He has a very tight budget to work with, yet he is able to draw from his experience working in the restaurant trade and uses culinary skills to create restaurant standard meals for everyone. His considerate nature ensures that all meals have delicious options available to suit all dietary requirements. The nominator said Jamie is kind and caring and brings a lot of skills to his roles at Frame. He's pragmatic, considerate, organised, patient, and a great listener, and his enthusiasm has been instrumental to the success of the relaunch of the canteen at Frame. He shares his professional skills with other volunteers and participants to help them gain not only basic cooking skills, but also an insight of the workings of a professional kitchen. He is the special ingredient that makes the Frame Kitchen such an enjoyable, beneficial and rewarding place to be. Finally, Nicola Hartfeld. Nicola is the founder and coordinator of Megan Star Foundation and has been volunteering her time since 2017, since the passing of her daughter Megan. Initially, she started signposting to other charities, but those often did not have the capacity to provide support, so she set up her own. She contributes a huge amount of effort and volunteer hours to the foundation, organising everything from the volunteers to running the coffee house and van. The community coffee house has provided a safe space and also fosters a sense of belonging to the community and connection for young people. And in that coffee house, Nicola arranges all sorts of activities for young people, including arts, crafts, makeup lessons, quiz nights, warm nights, and much more. The nominator said, Nicola brings kindness, selflessness, and many, many more qualities. She has not only changed the lives of young people, but she has changed the lives of parents and their families. She has a unique way of managing to get through to the youngsters, and also her encouragement to older people who visit the coffee house. Nicola makes an impact on everyone around her with the support she provides and time that she gives. I have no doubt that she is touching the lives of many in a profound way. So I'm now going to hand the envelope to Mary, and you can announce the winner, please.
Good evening. Firstly, can I say what a real privilege it is to be invited here this evening? And can I add my congratulations and my thanks to everyone who's actually put in such an amazing effort in supporting their communities. A big, big thank you. And the winner of the individual over 25 award is Yayan Matthews of Sandy Bear Children's Bereavement Charity.
And highly commended Bill Towler, the Mount Community Centre, and Brenda Saunders, Volunteering Matters. You might go down, yeah. You'll be fit. And commended James Puttock from Pembrokeshire Frame and Nicola Hartfeld, Megan's Star Foundation. Would you like to both come to the stage, please, for your certificates? Okay, and a big round of applause to all the winners of this award. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, this way, thank you. Right, and we come to the final category in the awards ceremony. And this category is for a group of volunteers aged over 25. And I'm delighted to welcome Mariam Diel and Abby Clarkson from Southhook LNG to come to the stage, please, to present this last award. And can we give them a good round of applause because they are our sponsors this evening. We're really grateful for the support that Southwark LNG give us in terms of encouraging volunteering and celebrating and thanking volunteers in the county. Right, now this category was a huge category for the judges, and they wanted to let everyone know that the scoring in this category was the closest of all categories and very difficult to decide the winners. And I'm going to read out the nominees, first of all. So ASD Family Help, Pembrokeshire Volunteers, Citizens Advice Pembrokeshire Volunteers, Community Fridge Volunteers, Dinas Cross Wellbeing Hub, Eru Dowie, Dowie's Acre, the St David's Community Garden Volunteers, Grounds and Site Maintenance Volunteers at Carew Castle and Tidal Mill, Hubbardston and Hakin Community Centre Volunteers, Adrian and Tim, Hubbardston and Hakin Over 60s Luncheon Club Volunteers, the Maintenance Team, Sea Trust, Paul Satori Oral History Project, Volunteers over 25, Pembrokeshire Baby Bank Volunteers, Pembrokeshire Coast National Park Heritage Volunteers, Tenby Museum and Art Gallery Volunteers, the Mount Community Centre Volunteers, Bill Towler, Natty Towler, Camilla Louise Hardy and Caroline Jenkins, the VC Gallery Bridge Street Volunteers, Chris Reynolds, Anna Hatton, Sheila Davis, Paul Dell, Peter Graham, Kay Slater, Ian Slater, Graham Morris, Heidi Norman and Andrew Bailey. And finally, the VC Gallery Mobile Museum Volunteers. Just that list just shows you the number of volunteers involved and the huge range of activities that volunteers are carrying out in communities across the county. So a big round of applause, please, for all the nominees in this category. And the finalists that we're going to find out more about, and you can see what a tough category this was. The finalists are ASD Family Help, Pembrokeshire Volunteers, Dinas Cross Wellbeing Hub, and the Mount Community Centre Volunteers. So those are our finalists, and we're going to hear a little bit more about each one. So ASD Family Help Volunteers, first of all. These volunteers provide support to a community of parent carers, adults and young people, all of whom have been touched by autism, neurodiverse individuals. Volunteers support the ASD coffee groups, workshops, family activities, private online peer chat group, youth adult clubs and committee meetings. Wearing their blue t-shirts, they are the first friendly face that anyone sees when they walk through the door. And that for some can be a real challenge and frightening. The volunteers are there to offer a friendly, warm welcome, a smiling face, and immediately let that person know that they are in a safe environment, make them feel comfortable and not alone. They offer a listening ear and they make no judgments. They learn to take the lead from the person they are supporting and do what is right for them in that moment. They offer guidance and support when needed or asked for. Their goal is to help make every individual feel heard, understood, and help them be part of a wider community, which they often feel lonely and isolated in. The volunteers are excellent ambassadors for the service and are very good at promoting the charity and sharing information with others via social media or face-to-face within their own community. The nominator said, "Our volunteers have made a huge difference and we regularly get feedback about how friendly they are. They have helped those who come to our events feel not so alone, build friendships which they didn't have before, and given them self-worth and not feeling judged." One child said they no longer felt invisible after attending our club. "I have watched the volunteers develop new skills, flourish as a team, laugh, cry, and be there, not only for the community, but for each other as well. Often our users will say, 'I don't know what I would do without you all.' They have helped parent carers understand and connect to their children and adjusted their approach and empowered them to try new skills. They've given lots of solutions and ideas, like knowing when to pick the battles and when it's okay to say, does that really matter, without feeling like a bad parent. They offer them a place to offload and be heard. Moving on to the Dinas Cross Wellbeing Hub. Now, a small team of 8 Dinas Cross Community Hub volunteers have, since the pandemic, revived community activities in Dinas Cross. They recognised from day one that isolation and loneliness were a major factor in the village, and people wanted an opportunity to come together and meet other people from within that community. Working closely with the community, the group has been integral to making a difference to people's lives by listening to the community voice and identifying the gaps locally. And regular activities now include a successful lunch club with anything from 30 to 120 people attending, and any food left over is also delivered to people who cannot attend. They do community gardening, a ukulele group, a Welsh conversation group, yoga, cinema club with buffet. And this is not including the special one-off events and regular day trips. They're also working in collaboration with other local groups, as well as inviting in other agencies to share information on a number of topics from transport to energy advice. The nominator said, the hub is a fairly new addition to the village, but the commitment by the 8 members of the Dream Team have been outstanding. Each member of the team has a particular strength to offer. Their combined commitment has transformed the community for the benefit of those who live there, to ensure that the village of Dinas Cross is thriving and that the residents within it are supported and cared for. They put people's needs at the forefront of their agenda, and they don't seek any recognition for the huge amount that they do. The group face everything put before them with a smile and undeniable enthusiasm, and if it benefits their community and makes one resident feel less isolated, more involved, and helped with their well-being, then this group will strive to achieve it. Finally, the Mount Community Centre volunteers, Bill, Natty, Camilla, and Caroline. The 4 volunteers nominated within this group have helped in many ways supporting the weekly lunch club, but also numerous annual events such as the Teddy Bears Picnic, pumpkin carving competitions, Easter celebrations, Christmas dinners, and the setting up and maintenance of the community garden. They were also instrumental in the running of the Winter Warm Space Initiative, from helping with everything from the setting up of tables and chairs to making the food, all equipped to help think of and run fun games and or activities for local children. And they always stay after the event without hesitation to give a hand in tidying and clearing up. They do so always with enthusiasm and without complaint. They also arranged the rota and covered other volunteers who were unable to attend at short notice. The nominator said, the most exciting thing about our group is the fact they are all so different, and each brought something different and unique to our sessions. Their help made the whole project possible through the winter period. We talked through our ideas with the group, and it was the volunteers who inspired us to go all out and open to the community for a whole day each week. They were willing to do whatever it took to make the project a success. If one was struggling, the others swooped in and not only covered, but supported that person until they felt able to come back and welcome them back in with open arms. The camaraderie transferred over into how they treated anyone who attended the Winter Warm Space Initiative. Very quickly, visitors knew they had entered a safe space where there was never any judgment, only warm greetings, big smiles, and even warmer food. We had so many comments that for the first time in a long time, those who attended felt part of a community again, like they remembered a community being when they were younger. We are so incredibly proud of all of them and their determination and hard work each time they were with us. So I think you can see from those descriptions how difficult a choice it was for the judges. So I'm going to ask Mariam Diel to come and announce the winner.
Okay. And the winner of the group award is Dinas Cross Wellbeing Hub.
You should all come up if you can. Thank you. Should we go down? Yeah. Would you like to go down? Or... There we go.
So you're right behind me. You're hiding. Come across? Yeah, I get. And again. What? Again, please.
I'm going to ask the highly commended and commended to come up, but just to remind everybody not to disappear, because we're going to have a big group photograph in a minute. So just all get ready to come forward, okay? So highly commended, first of all, ASD Family Help, Pembrokeshire Volunteers. Oh, sorry. Both highly commended, and the Mount Community Centre Volunteers, both highly commended. Sorry. We can go down, Louise. Congratulations, well done. I'd like to see a Dinas Wellbeing Hub in every community across Pembrokeshire. So can you just sort that out for us? I'd like to have a Dinas community. I know there are some similar things, but it would be lovely if every community did the kind of things that you were doing. That's good. Yeah, it'd be really good. So I'll probably take the opportunity to, to promote it.
Yeah, so in the new year, can you come to one of our events before you retire? Before you retire. And you might even give us a little talk as well, man. Yeah, and you can come. I'd be delighted. Yeah, you can come and retire as well. You gotta go back up. You gotta go back up.
Do you want everybody up now? Okay, right. We're going to ask as many of you who can come to the front to please come to the front so that we can have a big group photo. So this is the group challenge, and that brings the evening to an end. Thank you very much indeed for your patience and for making it such a wonderful evening. So please come forward. Don't be shy, okay? Otherwise, I will have to set Lee on you. Yeah, those that can't come. That's it. Please come up. Don't be shy. We want a nice big group photo. Everybody, please. If you don't want to come up the steps, you can just stand at the front.